Hello everyone and welcome to this 2v2 showdown featuring Italian Spartacus and myself facing off against Black Iron Battles and Gojira. As far as the army composition goes, it's going to be Italian Spartacus playing the Tomb Kings and I will be leading the High Elves, and then we're going to be facing off against the Greenskins and the Dwarves. So definitely a bit of an unusual team composition, probably not the most lore friendly. Looks like we do have Wurzog as well as Grombrindle, but I don't know. I guess I'm trying to think of what Greenskin lords would actually be the most diplomatic. I don't know, maybe Wurzog? Probably, definitely more so than Grimgor, I feel, but regardless, let's jump right into this game, guys, and have some fun. So as far as the army composition goes for Italian Spartacus and I have a fairly well-rounded High Elf army. So in the front line, I have a couple Spearmen, which are going to be supported by 3 groups of Ushapti. So basically, we're thinking that the Spearmen have really high melee defense, they have anti-large, so the things that would normally counter Ushapti, the Spearmen are going to help fend off. And on top of that, they have Silver Shield, so against, focus fire from, some of the Rusty Arrows, and these guys can absorb some of the initial fire. So we have a couple groups of Spearmen. We also do have some elite High Elf infantry, so 2 groups of the Swordmasters of Hoeth. Granted, Italian Spartacus will be handling most of the hard hitting in the front line. He does have 3 groups of Ushapti. On top of that, he does have 2 Tomb Scorpions and a Kemrian War Sphinx. So we're just trying to isolate, some of the strengths of both of these factions. I feel that, the Tomb Kings are obviously, just such a powerhouse faction because of their constructs. And the High Elves do have a well-rounded roster. They have pretty good cav, good archers, decent infantry. What they really lack is heavy armor piercing against large targets. And obviously the Tomb King constructs and Ushapti Greyposts are going to cover our bases there. In the back, I do have 3 groups of High Elf archers, and they're basically just there to kill the Rusty Arrows and the Greenskin archers, and they can outrange Thunders and Quarrelers, if I'm not mistaken. So Quarrelers have 160 compared to 180, but mainly, we were expecting the Rusty Arrows, so I really wanted to have some archers to shut those guys down. On top of that, I will be handling the skirmish on the flanks. I do have 2 groups of Dragon Princes, one on the far side, which is going to be protecting these 3 groups of Illyrian Reavers, which are very good against Greenskins. Illyrian Reavers can just, out-kite Greenskin cav. They can almost outfight them. I mean, if you look at the stats here on these are skirmisher cav. These guys have, 32, 34, 27 compared to 22, 20, 32. Granted, they do have a bonus for large on those boars, but these guys can, kite them and shoot them and can also fight pretty well in melee. So definitely like that quite a bit. 2 Dragon Princes, but aside from that, Italian Spartacus has a bunch of constructs. He has Arc in the Black, Ushapti Greybows, Necrotex, all kinds of evil, spooky stuff. And for our opponents, Gojira and Black Iron Battles. Black Iron is definitely, I don't know, I think he was playing the Dwarves, and he's usually a Greenskin main. But regardless, in the front line, the Dwarves, not the Dwarves, it looks like the Greenskins are going to be handling it. Yeah, so Black Orcs mostly, which, pretty good. Black Orcs will beat Spearmen. They'll do pretty well against Swordmasters of Hoeth. The Hoeth Swordmasters, I think, win 1-1. But again, the Black Orc will put a huge dent in them, and will definitely get rid of their martial mastery for the next engagement. The Dwarves in the back are going to be handling most of the focus fire. They have Quarrelers, they have Cannons, which are already doing a bunch of damage to my Dragon Princes here. You can see that Techless was able to get a regrowth off, which is nice. Some Slayers in the back, Gyrocopters. We actually do have 2 Gyrocopters, which I actually like. They'll do decent AP damage against Dragon Princes. They can shoot down constructs, 99 missile damage, and very good armor piercing value. So if you are going to bring them, Ushapti Greyposts can really shoot these things out of the sky, but they can potentially do some good damage. Looks like there's some Boars and Miners on the flanks with some Forest Goblin Spider Riders, and that is pretty much it. So without further ado, guys, let's get this battle on the road. So right now I do get my Illyrian Reaver cav, and I come up here and just wanted to get some free shots on the boars. And you can see I actually do take out a model or 2 here, but they're definitely getting the upper hand in regards to the initial engagement. You can see the cannons are shooting in. Also, I made a little bit of a mistake. I let some blasting charges hit my Reavers, but I'm able to pull back, and ooh, those cannons just coming in and just cracking my guys. But we're getting some really good skirmish against these boars, who only have 60 armor. So in the front line, my Spearmen and Swordmasters of Hoeth are engaging. Italian Spartacus is going to follow in suit with his Ushapti here, who will do very good against Black Orcs, especially with Spearmen just taking the brunt of the damage. Over here, we have a bit of a fight, so my Dragon Princes got a little bit overextended, so I'm going to be pathing my Spearmen to try and intercept, and the Dragon Princes are just going to have to commit here. So they get in here, and they'll definitely trade well, but Biggins will do pretty good, especially considering I'm going to be poisoned by these Forest Goblin Spider Riders. So Italian Spartacus will be sending a spider over. I have some Spearmen coming, and I think I get some healing going on over here, but these blasting charges just tearing into my formation. So Black Iron Battles and Gojira are definitely doing a very good job on this flank. In the front line, though, it's definitely going well for us. The Ushapti are going to be piling in, doing a lot of splash damage against these orcs upon their initial engagement. And just like you want it, the Spearmen take the brunt of the damage. You can see there's definitely some casualties here. Then the Swordmasters of Hoeth are then going to push in and just do a ton of work. But I definitely like having Ushapti, Ushapti standalone would actually get crushed pretty bad by Black Orcs. Black Orcs hit very hard and have a lot of AP. Granted, Ushapti do a lot of damage to them. Having the Spearmen to take a lot of these blows from the Black Orcs is going to be very good. On the other side, it's a little bit better for Italian Spartacus and I. He does get his Kemrian War Sphinx, which is going to be crashing in here. High Elf Archers, you can see in the back, are just teeing off on the Savage Orc Air Boys, and they're shaking actually. So they're probably going to rout off pretty quickly here. The Dragon Prince is just overwhelmed this flank, just outclassing these Orc War Boy Biggins. We have some Tomb King constructs pushing in as well. and my Lyrian Reaver Cav are just providing some overwatch and picking off a couple of those boars. So Ark in the Black is going to be piling in the Swordmasters of Hoeth in a pretty pitched fight with these greenskins here in the front line. They do have Ere We Go, but you can see the Swordmasters are just beasts. Yes, they took about half their HP in damage, but they've won this in a pretty, one-sided banner, and the Black Orcs are going to have to retreat despite the fact that they are buffed by the Wa matchup. So the Hogmaster in the back line is just kind of squealing and running around. The Quarrelers are in a pretty good position. It looks like they're just shooting in at the infantry, not trying to scoot up and shooting against my archers, which is probably fine. Doing a little bit of work against the Swordmasters, but the constructs in the front line are going to be pretty scary. You can see that Scorpion just took that orc underground. Damn, nature, you scary. But he's doing a pretty good job here. But the Black Orcs are starting to buckle a little bit. Granted, they have a lot of auxiliary troops. So Black Iron Battles and Gojira, rather than committing all their forces initially, had goblins and miners and extra troops in the back line. But the Tomb King constructs are definitely causing some problems. On the far side of the battlefield, though, we definitely lost this side of the engagement. You can see the Dragon Princes here and some of the other spearmen had to retreat. So Black Iron Battles and Gojira are going to be pushing forward with the miners. They were able to get on some archers right here with the Forest Goblin Spider Riders, which is definitely not fun for my archers. But what we got going here is pretty good. I was able to get a net of Emnatok here on these Orc Boarboy Biggins, and then Italian Spartacus started shooting the Ushapti Great Bows at them. I get my archers turned over here as well, so hopefully Teclis, as well as some of these sacrificial archers, can kind of hold things together. In the mainline fight, though, it's really too close to call. The bounce of power is just dead even. I still have some Swordmasters of Hoeth fighting. You can see the Tomb Blade of Arkan actually healing them, which is so insane. But of course, the White Dwarf is fighting amongst their ranks, which is going to be tough, but they have a lot of backline pressure. These archers are holding surprisingly well. On this side, you can see that the Gyrocopters actually are going to be chasing off my Dragon Princes, so yeah, the flanks have definitely been a little bit tough. Black Iron Battles and Gojira using the Gyrocopters and just, overwhelming numbers on the flanks were able to do pretty well. Granted, I think in the center and in the archer game, Italian Spartacus and I both have the advantage. So my archers are pulling back right now. My Lyrian Reavers have come back from this flank. Yeah, I could have used them to try and overwhelm this flank, but I wanted to secure my archers in the back. So right now, the Illyrian Reavers are going to be charging in, and they're really good in melee, like I said. They're going to do a ton of damage against the Forest Goblin Spider Riders. And honestly, with a decent rear charge, they'll probably be able to rout off some of these Dwarven miners. So we're going to go ahead and see how that goes. So in the front, you can see Grombrindle the White Dwarf definitely chopping down the Scorpion, doing the Dawi people proud. Over here, some of the Morgum's Mangy Marauders from, I think that was Gojira Gaming who's playing these guys. So Gojira's, yeah, he's going to be shooting at the Tomb Scorpion. Looks like he's going to be trying to bum rush the archers, but my Illyrian Reavers are able to intercept those guys and are going to do a lot of damage. And yeah, just some solid missile play, or I guess solid missile action from these archers in the back. I definitely think they were a pretty good pick in this game. The miners continue to just kind of leak through here, which is a little bit tough, and they're durable. They have 80 armor, and for such a cheap unit, they're pretty sticky and hard to get rid of. So, oh man, that is just such bait for that's what she said. But regardless, I get all this ammunition in here, and you can see the archers are just going to be crossfiring these miners, and I think I do get some of these spearmen coming in to kind of plug them up, and Teclis as well. So, Bounce of Power, like I said, still very even. Ark and the Black fighting in the front line. Grombrindle and Esthane are slowly working down this Tomb Scorpion, but I have gotten into the cookie jar. So I did leave one group of my Illyrian Reavers back here to help out a little bit and chase off these Forest Goblin Spider Riders, but the artillery had been on for far too long, and you can see it was just shooting for most of the game here, so I wanted to get these Illyrian Reavers and try and shut down the cannon play. So there's a cannon here. The other cannon crew looks like it is coming back, and Ark and the Black is in the wrong neighborhood. So Grombrindle's got his Foe Seeker, and he is just going to cut Ark and the Black up. So Arkan has 40-50. Yeah, Grombrindle has 70 melee attack. Just hits like an absolute truck. Even the Liber Mortis, if you wanted to use that to prevent 44% of the damage. Oh, Grombrindle just with one fell swoop takes out 3 of those guys. It looks like that's going to be a Flock of Doom coming down from, I think I brought that with Teclis. So the backline is relatively secure. Teclis and the Spearmen are able to fend off the miners. My archers are back in position. Italian Spartacus also has his Ushapti Great Bows firing again, which is going to be very, very nice. If we take an overarching look at the battle, it looks like it's just kind of a very heavy concentrated pocket of elite dwarves. So we have some Longbeards here. We have Grombrindle the White Dwarf, who's probably going to be able to get Ark in the Black. A Goblin Big Boss. I don't know if the Hogmaster is still alive, the Baconator. I'm not sure if he's lurking around the battlefield, but the Gyrocopters do come back. So at this point, I was on talking to Ryan on Discord, and I was Italian Spartacus, and I was like, "Hey man, you need to shoot down these Gyrocopters." So we get the Ushaptis turning around and starting to shoot here. You can see the Hoglord is actually chasing down Ark in the Black. Arkan does get staggered right there. You can see the Hog. He's actually really powerful in melee. Charge bonus of 86, really solid armor piercing values, because Arkan is surprisingly tanky. So I try and get in there to rescue him. I get Teclis, I get some archers rushing forward. But honestly, I think it's too little too late. He's at negative 18 leadership. He's probably going to crumble and fall, and he does get some more of his evil witchcraft off before he goes. Then the Gyrocopters pick off Ark in the Black. So Balance of Power might be just a little bit in the favor of Black Iron Battles and Gojira at this point, but again, you can see Teclis coming in. The Necrotechs are going to avenge their evil master. But you can see that there's a Goblin Big Boss coming from our opponents, and they get a nice rear charge right here on Teclis. But guys, in the distance, you can see the metaphorical Rohirrim coming in the back. These Illyrian Reavers are definitely going to be able to clean up shop. And some of them still have their martial prowess, even at this point in the game. This one still does, a little above half HP. The other group's pretty much full health, so the Baconator is going to have a hard time getting away here. We have 2 Tomb Scorpions from Italian Spartacus, which are very healthy, as the Shopti Great Bows are in good shape. My archers here are just going to be picking off the Dragonback Slayers, which is pretty much the optimal use for those units. And it's starting to look a little bit better. You can see the bounce power shifting in our favor just a little bit, but not enough to kind of seal the game here. We're getting this Tomb Scorpion just burrowing after this Wild Hog here. And yeah, the Illyrian Reavers are just going to swoop in, and they should be able to finish him off. In the meantime, Gyrocopters flying overhead with the Shopti Great Bows did a ton of damage. They completely shot down one group, and then the other one was able to take pretty lethal damage. There's still some leadership for Black Iron Battles in Gojira. They do have a Thane and a Goblin Big Boss. So the Goblin Big Boss was hunting Teclis, which was really scary. He could probably, finish him off at this point. He does have better combat stats for melee. So I'm just kind of running back. I was like, Italian Spartacus, help me! Get your Ushopti. So the Ushopti will probably turn, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to remember all the details here, but I think that the Ushopti turn and protect Teclis, which is going to be pretty important. So it looks like there's some sort of witchcraft. I think the Potion of Koroi, which is going to heal. And Teclis is surprisingly tanky because of that. You don't really need to use any regrowth on himself. Just pop that whenever you finish casting your spell. So Italian Spartacus does rush in here with these Ushopti, and he will pin down this Goblin Big Boss, which is going to be nice. You can see the second group, the Chosen of the Gods, coming in, and they're just going to get a nice little bro charge right here on the Goblin Big Boss. So some Slayers in the back fighting to the bitter end. Definitely having a good time fighting some Elves. But it looks like these 51 archers should be able to polish off those 4 Dragonback Slayers, especially with Teclis coming over to help. And the bounce power for the first time in the battle is coming in our favor. As you can see, the Hogmaster is overrun by the High Elves. And yeah, these Illyrian Reavers definitely one of the MVPs in the game. Pressuring the back line, providing good missile pressure on the cav and different units like that. Just such a solid unit here. So Foot of Gork going down, and oh, look at that. The Hoglord going out with a bang. That was awesome, doing a ton of damage against those Illyrian Reavers. If only that had come earlier in the game, or some sort of a Foot of Gork like that, but I think that was the first time that they had actually bunched up. So definitely good stuff, and very well played. That was a super close, definitely interesting seeing Dwarves and Greenskins together. Just, even though, like, yeah, it's 2v2, and we're not, like, playing lore scenarios, it just still feels a little bit weird to see Greenskins and Dwarves fight together, but I feel like the High Elves and the Tomb Kings complemented each other pretty well. We had some really nasty Overwatch. We had the High Elf Archers, who were very good for their cost. Then on top of that, we had the Ushopti Great Bows. And yeah, the High Elf Infantry eventually did buckle in the front line to the Black Orcs, but we still had the Ushopti, the Tomb Scorpions, the Kemrian War Sphinx fought for some time in the front, and a lot of healing with those Necrotechs. So I definitely thought that was pretty fun. So yeah, very well played to all these guys. Make sure to check out Italian Spartacus and Black Iron Battles. And I think Gojira also has a YouTube channel. I will ask him if he wants me to share it. And yeah, make sure to check out the comment section for those goodies. So thanks again for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed some 2v2 action. There will be another 2v2 tournament over the summer, I'm thinking. Probably in July or August. I'm actually going over to Poland relatively soon. And going to be coming back with Lady Turn. So once she's back, there will be all kinds of fun stuff planned. And yeah, we can go from there. So thanks again for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we will see you all next time.